why you attract feminine men and what to do about it. So let's have this conversation, ladies, because I know that some of us feel like, oh, why do I always end up with a feminine guy? Okie dokie, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Like, honestly, let's not despair. Let's just get to the nitty gritty. I want to talk to you about really feminine men. Are they good? Are they bad? We're going to talk about what to do when you want a masculine energy man and how you can change and shift the dynamics so that you end up with a masculine energy man. I will see you right after this. Hello and welcome back. My name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If you want to learn how to be good, really good at dating and relationships and how to present as a feminine goddess, you are absolutely on the right channel. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment if it so suits you and become part of our Black Swan universe. Today, we're going to be talking about the thing that we decided to talk about today is really about why we attract feminine men. And I know I hate really doing these videos. I really do. I used to have relish in doing the videos until I really realized how much so many men fall into feminine energy, not by choice, not by desire, but really by design, environmentally. You know, many men who are sitting in feminine energy just don't know that they're in feminine energy, but it doesn't mean that they're not good men. It doesn't mean that they're not noble men, that they don't have great intentions. It's just that they move in a way that is off-putting to feminine women because they hold the same principles, mindsets that feminine women have. And so if you are a feminine woman and you are dating a feminine guy, then you're going to experience a lot of competitiveness. You're going to experience a lot of, well, I feel bad too. If you feel bad, I feel bad. And you're going to find it very difficult for your emotions to be cherished, and you will find it really difficult to respect him. But it doesn't mean that he is a terrible man. It just means that either he was absent, there was an absent dad, or he's just lived in this world where everything is just so neutral that he's confused about what's right and what's wrong. Maybe he takes his advice about his masculinity from magazines or from television. There's so much confusion about how we should identify as humans in the 21st century, and I believe that we will overcome it and we'll eventually get it right. But for now, there's a lot of confusion, and as such we need to give a lot of grace. So we will find that in this day and age, we will absolutely meet a lot more feminine energy men than we will masculine energy men. But this does not mean that they cannot evolve, grow, and come into information and knowledge that allows them to sit more comfortably within their divine masculine and therefore bring complementary energy to the relationship. Some of us are very much in our masculine, love being in our masculine, and so these men are actually really very compatible for those of us who really relish being in our masculine energy when we are in the relationship space. But today I want to talk to those of us who are feminine and really frustrated at constantly dating men who are feminine energy men, because we want to be cherished in the way that a feminine energy man does not understand how a woman should be cherished. We find ourselves competing for the same thing and not complementing one another. So let's think about what we do that really makes us a beacon towards feminine energy men. It's not so much what we do, it is who we are, it's who we are becoming, who we're being. And often we are being systemized and scripted, and have been so, including myself and all of us, and not necessarily to a fault. In terms of the intention behind it is not necessarily evil, but to survive, to make a living, to become somebody, to have significance in this world. We have had as women to, as we have abandoned our homes and our children and child rearing as a noble thing, which I truly believe is noble. But now that we do not believe it is, and we're chasing after gold and competing with men in the marketplace, it has caused us to sit more in our masculine energy. The number one reason you attract feminine men, the number one reason without a shadow of a doubt, is your very apparent, very clear masculine energy signature that goes out into the world and calls. It's like a homing beacon that says, if you are feminine, please come and talk to me. If you're a man who sits in feminine energy, then I'm your girl. Okay, so it's really about understanding what are some of those things that we do out of our being that we're not even aware of. Number one is the feeling that we are valued for performance. The masculine has to do good to feel good, and the feminine has to feel good to do good. And when we are in masculine energy, we tend to lead with doing good so we can feel good. And so naturally we present ourselves within our world as the doer of good because we want other people to give us the validation. And this is a lot of how the masculine works. And so we tend to lead in life and in our relationships and in every situation that we're in with our prowess, with our intelligence, with our success and our trophies and how wonderful we are. And that leaves a masculine man feeling like she really doesn't need me. And it really is sexy and super attractive to a feminine man who really is looking for somebody who will provide, protect, and cherish him. He will love a woman who is highly accomplished, always chasing goals. This is shiny energy, but don't get it twisted. Even masculine energy men do like a woman that's industrious. We know in Proverbs 31 that she's described as the most virtuous woman. So yes, masculine energy men do enjoy a woman who's industrious, who gets things done, but above all, they hope and love the idea that even though she can change the world single-handedly, she leads with her heart. She leads with her authenticness. She leads with who she is as a woman. She leads with kindness. She leads with grace. She leads with nurture. She leads with softness. She leads with fun and playfulness. And the rest is a huge, massive bonus. When we walk into the room, I want you to ask yourself, am I leading with who I am or what I do? Because if you're leading with who you are as a wonderful, beautiful black swan, as a beautiful, kind, caring, cherished, and cherishing woman, if you are leading in a room with this warmth and this kindness wherever you are, you will definitely attract the masculine man who is really looking for somebody who is heart-centered, somebody who lives from their heart. And this is not just important for dating, it's important for your wholesomeness. It's important for your wholeness. It's important for your joy, your peace, your satisfaction in this world. We are at our most satisfied as women when we live from a heart-centered place and lead our lives, our conversations from a heart-centered place. And so it's really, really, really important that we always walk into every room, wake up every room more with a greater consciousness of who we are, not what we do. I created the Black Swan Nation because I wanted women from all over the world to be able to access on the point help with their dating and relationship needs. We have the expertise of our world-class coaches, including myself, supporting you ladies through your dating journey to have access to live coaching without having to blow the bank. This, of course, we can only take a certain amount of ladies and support a certain amount of ladies, but I want you to know that you are currently welcome to the Black Swan Nation. You may end up on a waiting list, or you may get lucky and be able to get right into the Black Swan Nation, where we provide more insight, where we discuss more personal stories that will be of use to you. In the Black Swan Nation, there are no holds barred. It is unfiltered. It is only for the brave, because in the Black Swan Nation, we give you the raw truth. So all you have to do is follow the link on this video, and we will see you on the other side. The next thing that we do is to be the savior, the security blanket, the one that wants to save the day. That doesn't necessarily speak to just being the financial rescue. Sometimes that has to do with being the emotional rescue of a man, being his spiritual rescue, rescuing him from all kind of demons and all kind of problems. And many of us just intuitively and instinctively position ourselves in a man's life as in, how can I perform for you? How can I make things better for you? By being a feminine woman who is high value, high status, and high worth, you will naturally find that the environment that you create causes your man to be inspired to change his own life. Now, don't get it twisted. I believe in supporting the man that we're in a relationship with. I believe that if you're in a relationship with a man that you have chosen, then even if you are not saving him, supporting him is important. And support may sometimes look like rescue. Support may sometimes look like giving. Sometimes support may look like being ahead of him. But at the end of the day, you are not saving him for your agenda, with your outlook of how his life should be, and inserting yourself to create that narrative for him, but rather being clear about his direction, his vision, and his goals, and inserting yourself strategically to help him achieve what he's already set out to achieve, because you believe in his dreams and you believe in his goals and you believe in his potential, and you can see that he is taking action every single day, every waking minute of his day, to make sure that that goal and that vision is accomplished. Then of course it is wife energy. It is absolutely queen energy to insert yourself in a place where you can show support. But you cannot give a vision to a man who does not have a vision. You cannot create a vision for a man who hasn't got a vision. You cannot cause a man to see his greatness if he's never taken a glimpse of it. It's so much easier to support a man to see his greatness if he even saw a glimpse, because all you are doing is supporting and blowing your air onto it so that the little flame can become a blaze. When a woman is in her feminine energy and she is in the supportive role, she naturally creates an environment where her man feels inspired. Her man feels like he can climb mountains and swim oceans and do things that he never felt he could do. Because as feminine women, our responsibility and our job is to create an environment where everything thrives, including ourselves, where we thrive and sparkle and wow. And so that environment becomes an environment that we share in our beingness, and it does the work. Of course, we're wise women, so if there's something practical that is essential to get him a book, to get him on a course, to get him in front of people that you are connected to that can help his cause and fire up his agenda, you of course must do it as a supportive element. The feminine woman is a support, not a savior. So we must learn to not come in there and save the day if we don't want to attract feminine men. A feminine man is gonna sit and feel sorry for himself. He will have no plan to get himself out of the mess. He will have no job, nothing that he's actually practically doing to change his story, just feeling sorry for himself, just repeating how life is not fair. And he will love a woman who will come and give him a vision, finance the vision, just lead the way. This man will be attracted to you if you do not lean into your feminine and hold your space in that place. We shall be talking in another video how being in our feminine allows a man to sit, who might be maybe dithering between feminine and masculine, allows him to sit confidently and competently in his masculine energy when you take your place, because often it takes one party to shift dynamics. The other thing that we do is lead with our stuff? Have you seen my diamond rings? Have you seen my Bentley? Have you seen my arm? Have you seen my castle? Have you seen all the things I have and all my substance? Oh, I'm so together. Now, ladies, if you have worked hard or worked smart or both, and you have put your lifeblood into creating the life you have created for yourself, this girl is never gonna ask you to do less or be less than you are. Go right ahead and buy yourself that beautiful car, drive that, live in that beautiful home, have those beautiful things, but don't lead with those things. Don't lead with, oh, I've got this, what do you have? Oh, I live here, where do you live? It's important that you keep that part of your life, those things, that substance, those things as private as you can, especially early on, because a feminine energy man will definitely be attracted to the big things you have. I like to say to women, look, if you are in a position where you can live a little bit more modestly, it is probably gonna work in your favor. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it. But you may have to leave some of those things behind. Perhaps get an Uber and go for a few dates. Hire, a car. Maybe let's have the dates where he would like to take you and build an actual connection. Because a masculine energy man will love that you have your life together and that you're a woman of style and a woman of class and that you can afford the finer things in life. And he won't really care about how much of that you can contribute to him. But a feminine energy man will absolutely care, and he will make his move and his approach based on that. So it's really important, whether it is fair, sounds fair or not, I don't make the rules. I simply explain them to you and let you make up your own mind about what it is that you want to do. There is always a principle, even in scripture and in many religions, that speaks of modesty as a life principle. This serves us in so many ways. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it right now. This is just smart finance in most situations. So many of us think that if we have stuff and we dangle it for the world to see, put the car we drive on social media, put the home we live in on social media, unless it is directly proportional to what you do. If you're a wealth creation coach, for instance, and you want to show how your principles have created a magnificent life for you, fantastic. But if there's really no reason for anyone to know what car you drive, why do they need to? I've always said to all my photographers, to all of my coaches, I don't want people knowing where I live. I don't want them knowing what car I drive. I just don't want them knowing. What I want people knowing is how much I care about them and their relationships. I want to be remembered not as the girl that drove up in that fancy car. I want to be the girl that is remembered for touching lives and hearts and leading with my heart and changing lives. That doesn't mean that I will not be spotted in my car, or that I will not be spotted in my home, or spotted wherever I'll be spotted, but it's not what I am leading with. And it's so important that we choose a more modest existence in this life. And modesty for each of us is different at our station of life. But really allowing yourself to lead with your heart is going to be more appealing to the masculine and less appealing to the feminine. Obviously, we can go into it more. And of course, when you do understand masculine energy or feminine energy, and you can do a deep dive into that by doing the Feminine Mastery Masterclass at the blackswanrelationshipacademy.com. If you go over there, you will be able to see the Feminine Mastery Masterclass, in which case you will be able to download the course and really understand what is masculine, what's feminine, so you can identify whether you are acting in your masculine or whether you are acting in your feminine energy, so that you can make sure that you don't show up in ways that may be perceived as masculine. Of course, if you don't mind having a lovely feminine energy guy who just doesn't know what he's doing with his life and needs to be led and just needs some support and needs to be taken care of and rescued, and that brings you joy, well, thank God for your life, girl. Honestly, thank God for your life. You go do that with no guilt, shame, or fear. This is your path. If you desire it, it is your path. For the rest of us, of course, I hope that this video was really very helpful and that I will see you on my next one. In the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye. Well done for coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those 3 things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look, and I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all of your comments and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.